Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're on page 4.
49.
All right then, Jai, you carry on.
Okay. Dhritarashtra aside, Bhishma and Vidura looked at him in despair. He could clearly understand what would happen should they fight the Pandavas. But still, he would not save the situation. All he had to do was give his sons the order to cease hostilities, and the war would have been finished before it began. Although Duryodhana officiated as the monarch, his father still occupied the throne as the head of state. If the king ordered the prince to make peace with the Pandavas, he would have to obey. But Dhritarashtra showed no signs of giving such an order. He seemed resigned to actualize the death and destruction of everyone and everything he held dear. The two ministers looked at each other hopelessly as the king continued. This great calamity the Kurus now face owes its existence to the dice game. My son is at fault because he is filled with avarice. This is the work of eternal time. Bound by time, I am helpless in the face of my own ruination. What can I do? Where will I go? O Sanjaya, the foolish Kurus will be killed by time, and I do nothing about it. I will hear news of my 100 sons dying, and then hear the loud wailing of women. Only I will be left alive. How will death touch me, as the raging fire consumes the dry forest? So Bhima and Arjuna will consume my army. The king then described Arjuna's prowess, whom he considered no less a danger than Bhima. He knew Arjuna was truthful and would not kill any of his sons out of respect of Bhima's vow. But he would certainly not restrain himself with the rest of the Kuru forces. Although I think it's day and night, I do not see a warrior on earth who can stand against Gandiva power. Dhritarashtra's voice was almost choking. Some may think that either Karna or Drona can withstand him, but I do not share that view. Karna is careless and passionate, and the precipitator is old and weakened by affection for Arjuna. No one can kill Arjuna, nor will battle with him result in anything but his own victory. The authorities have assured us of this truth, and the Kurus have witnessed his strength with their own eyes. With Keshava guiding his chariot and the Gandiva in his hand, Arjuna will be irresistible in battle.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Madam Mohan Prabhu. Madhu Mohan Prabhu.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare
So, the fools under Duryodhana's control do not know this. When a thunderbolt falls on one's head, something may be left behind. When Arjuna's arrows fall on one's head, however, nothing will be left behind. I can see him now in my mind's eye, coursing through our troops, his arrows flying in all directions and beheading countless warriors. Could anyone face the combined might of Arjuna and Bhima and survive? Whomever Providence wills to be destroyed will not escape. Alas, the time for the Kuru's destruction is imminent. Dhritarashtra fell silent. If his sons were destined to die, then it would come to pass. But perhaps destiny would dictate some other outcome. After all, who could have foreseen that the noble Pandavas would have to give up their kingdom and enter the forest? Maybe their victory was not so certain. The king hardly dared to hope for his own victory. How could the Pandavas be overcome while they were supported by that unfathomable Krishna? Weeping and sighing repeatedly, Dhritarashtra said, "Although you have told me of the Pandavas' powerful forces, there is one who equals all of them and more. That mighty one could, by his desire, bring all the worlds under his control. That person is Krishna. He seems to have set his mind on the Pandavas' victory. It seems hopeless for my party. My heart quakes as I think of Yudhishthira's wrath, Bhima's prowess, the strength of Arjuna and the twins, and Krishna's inconceivable powers. What fool, desiring death, would fall like a moth into the inextinguishable Pandava fire? We have treated those heroes deceitfully. As a result, my sons will have to die. O Kurus, do not fight. If you wage war, then our race will be annihilated. Let us seek peace. Yudhishthira will not disregard me, especially upon seeing my distress." All right?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you very much. Charan Aravinda, Prabhu. You can turn your sound on now. Okay, let's welcome Neelam. Have you found the place where we're at, Neelam?
Hare Krishna, yes. Yes, sir.
You got the spot there, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, Nalini, continue.
The king tried.
Oh, Charan Aravinda's here. Thank you, Prabhu.
The king trailed off in tears. The rest of the assembly regarded him silently. What could anyone say? Dhritarashtra had said nothing about giving back Yudhishthira's kingdom. His desire for peace was an empty hope, born of fear. He would not pay the price to bring peace. War was certain. Sanjaya again approached the assembly, his hands clasped, and said, "O great king, it will be exactly as you say, that the Kshatriyas will be destroyed by the Gandhava bow is obvious. I cannot underestimate how you can clearly see this truth. You allow yourself to be controlled by your sons." Can someone else read now? This is all focus for me.
Yes, carry on, Nalini.
This is not the time to give way to grief. It is your fault alone that has caused this disaster. You have neglected the Pandavas who are like your own sons and treated them harshly. Sitting in the gambling arena, you call your own sons, sitting in the gambling arena, you called out like a child. What has been won? See now what you have won. Laugh now as you did then. O king, now you must face the vengeful Pandavas and their friend, the Lord of all beings, Krishna. The Kauravas are about to sink like a whole boat in a shoreless ocean. Your hope for victory arises only from madness. Whoever despises the Pandavas will be destroyed. It is not proper that you now grieve. O Bharata, you have had ample opportunity to prevent this calamity, but you repeatedly ignored all good advice. Your lamentations are useless, O chief among kings. Sanjaya returned to his seat at the foot of the kings and ministers. Dhritarashtra shook his head, tears running down his face and falling into his beard. Duryodhana began to worry that the king might decide to give in to the Pandavas. He leaped into his feet and said, "There is nothing to fear, O great king. You need not grieve for us. We are capable of winning the battle. When I heard that Yudhishthira had amassed an army that was intent upon war, I approached Bhishma, Drona, and Kripa. I sought their advice, asking if they felt we should surrender or fight. Victory was by no means certain. Each of them assured me, you need fear no enemies. Let anyone come, we will crush their pride with our sharp arrows. No one can defeat us in battle. Declaring their loyalty to you, O king, they reassured me. I have faith in their words. Bhishma alone overpowered all kings at Kashi. Again, that hero subdued the invisible warrior sage Parasurama. How can the Pandavas defeat him? What powers do they have? They do not have their kingdom or their wealth. We are the lords of the earth. Now is the time for us to assert our supremacy and our rightful position. This kingdom is yours, O best of men. How can we surrender it to the enemy?
Thank you very much, Mrinalini. Let's welcome Archana. Hare Krishna, Archana.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
We're at the bottom of page 451.
Oh, wow.
It's the very, very bottom of the page. Okay? And here Duryodhana is showing the typical materialist. A materialistic person is always optimistic about this world. They'll always say, somehow we're going to be happy here. Somehow we'll enjoy. Even though death is there, facing them, a gruesome end. And then what's beyond their death, they don't know what's coming. And they'll still be optimistic. So this is Duryodhana, foolishly hoping against hope. Hoping against hope. Materialistic people are like this. Spiritual-minded person, how do they think? Who can tell me how a spiritually minded, sagacious, wise person would view the situation?
Where's Krishna?
Where is Krishna? Yes, they'd be looking for Krishna. Anything else?
Where is Krishna? There is
What
victory.
verse in Bhagavad Gita comes to mind here? There's a specific verse where Krishna describes this world. Dukkalayam
Shashvatam.
ashashvatam. Who knows that shloka? Napnuvanti. Who knows that lovely verse? Dukkalayam ashashvatam. Krishna describes this world as full of misery and ashashvatam. It is temporary. It is full of misery and it's a temporary situation. Everything can change in a few moments when death comes. When death comes, what happens when death comes, Archana? Sorry to bring this on your head, but as soon as you come back
It's all right.
from your
He
Christmas
doesn't wait for
party.
anyone to do anything or say anything. He comes and that's it.
Mother Mohan Prabhu, can you shed some light on this very important point?
I don't think so. I'm not dead yet.
Well, we've read enough about it.
Well, yes, we progress to another existence, sure.
Yes,
As we came from one before.
yes. Neelam, what do you have to say?
Nothing, Prabhuji. Definitely.
Gayatri.
But any time will come.
Every day she looks at death in the face in the form of Tejas. Her
That is-
little boy.
On the shloka, Prabhuji. Dukkalayam asashvatam. That shloka.
Yeah,
मम उपेत्य पुनर्जन्म
Kontraya.
त्रयम् अशाश्वतं नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धं paramam gata. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection.
Lovely, yes. Isha describes this world as a place of misery and temporary misery, but also the place itself is temporary. And the family situation we're in, we're relating, that is finished. It's all completely wiped out to death. And we are ushered into a completely different form of existence, type of existence that is on the subtle platform. And it is very sudden, very sudden. So the materialist will never see this, but the spiritualist is not an optimist, but a not a pessimist, a
Harmonist.
A
Realistic?
realist.
Rejoicer.
Realist. Harmonist. Yes, Vaishnavas are not pessimist and they're not optimist. They're realist. And therefore, they're always looking for the Param Satyam, the reality, the ultimate reality, that Param Satyam. Parastasmat tu bhavanyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha. Krishna describes, yet there is another nature that is transcendental to this material existence, and that place is permanent. It's a permanent fixture, and that is your real home. So this is interesting how Duryodhana is typical materialistic person, got 2 feet in the material world, 2 feet firmly here. The Vaishnavas, we may have 1 foot here, but we have 1 foot in the spiritual world. And the Paramahansa pure Vaishnava, 2 feet are in the spiritual world. Therefore, we call them lotus feet. Shri Guru Charana Padma, the lotus feet. Spiritual master, he is walking in the spiritual world. He may be here, but his mind, his heart is there in Vaikuntha, Kaloka. I just thought I'd detour from that for a moment. Go ahead, Neelam.
Hare Krishna. As usual, Dhritarashtra's mind was swayed by Duryodhana. It was true that Bhishma was an insuperable warrior. He had also been given a boon that he could die only at his own will. No one could kill him. If he declared his intention to fight with all his heart, then all was not lost. The king checked his tears, but as Duryodhana continued, why why are you struck with fear simply upon hearing descriptions of enemies? Consider our own army, almost twice the size of theirs, even in the could not overpower our forces. That Yudhishthira asked only for 5 villages shows that he is afraid of our might. As far as Vima is concerned, do not be afraid of him. None in this world can equal my men's fighting. I am a match even for Balram, my tutor, and with a single blow I will dispatch Vima to death's abode. I can break the Himbat mountain to pieces. I, I long to face Vima in battle. Duryodhana scowled in anger at the thought of Bhima. He had had the palace artisan make an iron replica of Bhima. Even each day the Korba could smash the iron statue with his huge mace. Soon he would have the opportunity to smash Bhima himself. As for Arjun, How can we possibly be victorious when he fights with Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, Ashwatthama, Shalya, Bhurishrava, and Jayadratha simultaneously? Even Drone single-handed is more than a match for him. Born from the immortal Rishi Vardhvaj, no one can even look upon Drona when he is worked upon in the field. Then, then there is a Kripa, born from a powerful rishi. No man or a god can slay him. Then there is a Karana, who I consider to be the equal of Vishma, Drona and Kripa combined. Even Indra came to him out of fear and begged for his natural armor. That Lord of the God has bestowed an infallible weapons from upon Karan with which he will surely slay Arjun.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was very nice. So this is Duryodhana now. He's really working up the situation and he's convincing his father, listen, we've got what it takes here to smash the Pandavas. Even he says that he'll kill Bhima. Of course, he in his heart he knows he's no match for Bhima, but out of false ego, out of a sense of false ego, false pride. What's the other one? Bravado. There's so many words to describe someone who overestimates their own position, overestimates himself, and he's a typical example of a materialistic person, Duryodhana. Okay, Gayatri, carry on.
Duryodhana continued praising his forces and deriding the Pandavas. Naming all the kings on the Kaurava side, he breathed confidence into his father. There was no possibility the Pandavas could win the war. Dhritarashtra could rest at ease. In conclusion, Duryodhana asked Sanjaya, with 7 Akshauhini divisions, what does Yudhishthira hope to achieve? Does he really think he can overpower us? Sanjaya smiled. Yudhishthira and his brothers are all cheerful. I do not detect any fear in them. Arjuna mounted his heavenly chariot as I was leaving and said, I have seen divine omens foretelling our victory. Looking at Arjuna clad in mail and standing on his chariot as lightning sits within a cloud, I saw truth in his words. Duryodhana laughed sarcastically. You're always praising the Pandavas, whom we defeated at dice. Tell me about Arjuna's chariot. What sort of horses and banners are attached to it? Duryodhana had heard about Arjuna's divine chariot given to him by Agni. Its seeds were given by Gandharva chief Siddhartha. He listened as Sanjaya described it. Arjuna's chariot is of celestial origin and cannot be impeded. It is drawn by white horses which move at the speed of wind across both earth and sky. Siddhartha has granted him a boon that there will always be 100 horses no matter how many are slain. I can barely describe Arjuna's banner. It was created by Vishwakarma and it throws up a celestial illusion. It appears to extend in all directions for 8 miles. It is impossible to ascertain of what the banner is made, but it resembles smoke mixed with fire. It has all the colors of Indra's bow. The terrible monkey Hanuman sits there, as do other celestial beings of terrifying form. Sanjaya described the other 4 Pandavas' chariots. When he had finished, Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, which of the Pandava warriors will contend with which of mine? Drishtadyumna, born from fire, has reserved Drona as his share. His brother Shikandi has marked out Bhishma, while the pious Yudhishthira has determined to slay his uncle Salya. Duryodhana and his 100 brothers will belong to Bhima. Arjuna has named Karna, Ashwatthama and Jayadratha. Whoever in this world claims to be invincible, Arjuna will also slay. All of your grandsons, O king, will be met by Abhimanyu. The deceitful Shakuni belongs to Sahadeva. while Nakula will engage with Shakuni's son Uluka and the hordes of mountain fighters he leads. O leader of men, all the rulers and warriors in your army have been assigned to one or another of the Pandavas and their followers. Therefore, do quickly what needs to be done, for the battle will soon begin. Dhritarashtra became fearful. His mind swung between hope and despair. He spoke again, trembling. All my foolish sons, who will face Bhishma, have already ceased to exist. The other kings and rulers will all be slain by Gandiva bow, as moths are killed when they enter fire. I see my army routed by Pandavas, whom I have made into my enemies. Yudhishthira's forces are like a formidable ocean. My son desires to cross with his two arms. Indra himself could not withstand such heroes who are cool and composed in battle and capable of breaking down the Himalayas. Alas, my wicked son desires to fight them, ignoring my protests.
Thank you, Gayatri. Thank you. Yes, and all my foolish sons, says Dhritarashtra, will face Bhima. He won't face Bhishma because Bhishma is on the side of Duryodhana. So they're facing Bhima, not Bhishma. And when we say rooted, it's routed. When we say routed,
Routed.
when you route someone, it means that you upset them, you disturb the situation when you route. And root is ROOT, rooted.
Oh, okay.
Just because it's not your first language. If I was speaking Telugu, it would be a kitchery, it would be a total absolute disaster.
What about a bus route?
Yes, a bus route. Yes, and route, and also RO. This is English.
Bus
Crazy.
route is spelled route, isn't it?
Route. We say.
Yeah.
So now, if I was an American, I'd say, "Hey, which route are you taking?" See, so English is like that. Not a great language. Okay, Archana, continue, please.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Oh, is that all my son foolish sons, or Duryodhana rose to his feet?
Duryodhana to his feet.
Okay. Duryodhana rose to his feet. Both parties are mortals. Why then do you describe victory as belonging only to them? Think again about the horses arrayed on our side. Not even the gods combined could overpower them. What to speak of the Puni Pandavas? O sire, I do not consider the Pandavas capable of even gazing at our forces. The king and rulers who wish me well will take hold of the Pandavas as deer are held in trap. They will be vanquished along with all their flowers. Dhritarashtra said, shaking his head. His intelligence told him that the Pandavas, aided by Krishna, could not be defeated, but his heart was held by the strong grip of attachment for his sons. His choked voice echoed around the hall. See how many sons rose like Manik Sanjaya. How will he...
Wait.
Hold on.
Try saying that one again.
See how my son raves like maniac. Sanjaya.
A maniac is a madman.
Oh,
Pagalwala hai, Pagalwala.
okay. Thank you. How will he ever defeat Yudhishthira in battle? Surely Bhishma knows the truth about the Pandava strength, since he does not desire to fight with them. Tell us again of their prowess, Sanjaya. Let us be in no doubt of the danger we now face. Among the Pandavas' forces, the Drishtadyumna constantly incites them. He said, Go, Sanjaya, and tell the Kauravas their annihilated son is imminent. Tell them they can only avert this calamity by sending a pure and honest man to Yudhishthira to return his kingdom. Do not let Arjuna release the fire of his anger at Kurus. He is protested by the gods in heaven and by the supreme God himself. He cannot be slain. O Kurus, do not even think of fighting with him. Dhritarashtra cried out, covering his face. O Duryodhana, my son, he wailed, turn your mind from war. One half of this white kingdom is more than enough for you and your ministers. Return to the Pandavas that which is theirs. All the Kurus elders see this as the only virtuous path, and you should accept it, Richard. Apart from you and the small-minded son of Sutta, I do not think there are any here who desire war. Led by Krishna, Dushasana and Shakuni, you are traveling the path of destruction. Come to your sense, dear son. Do not be misled.
Thanks, Archana. Actually, another point is that this Dhritarashtra, and the Duryodhana, their party, Karna, they have faced the Pandavas at different times. When Duryodhana attacked Virat and the take the cows, and when Chitrarat defeated Duryodhana, Arjuna, they came and saved them that time. But whenever they have fought, Arjuna has never really let go. Like when you're boxing, did you ever do boxing when you were younger? Mother Mohan Prabhu, did you have boxing gloves? Yeah. So Acharya Ravinda Prabhu, did you ever have a set of boxing gloves?
Yes.
Yes, I had a set of boxing. I used to practice some with my little brother. Or my younger brother. And and we'd both be boxing away. He'd have his boxing gloves, I'd have mine. And, but sometimes I just give him a good one, Pow! And down he goes. And it's like you're playing. What do they call it, Prabhu, when they're sparring? Sparring. So what's happened is Arjuna has just been sparring with Karna and Duryodhana and others up until now. But Duryodhana thinks that Arjuna is really doing it for real. So this is the problem. They're completely underestimating the power of Arjuna. Completely.
That was his.
Yes, Charmarina?
Was his plan.
Let's welcome Subhajoti from Swindon. Hare Krishna, Subhajoti.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. How are you? Happy New Year to
Happy
you
New
and
Year.
everyone.
Happy New Year. We're just continuing on with the book. I have a copy for you. So when I come to Swindon, I'll bring you a copy. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. And where is the link, Prabhu, today?
The link, no, Jai will put one up for you now. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Meanwhile, let's continue with Madam Mohan Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay. What was it? Dhritarashtra cried out?
Yes.
Okay. Dhritarashtra cried out, covering his face. "O Duryodhana, my son," he wailed. "Turn your mind..." No, we read that one already.
Yeah, Dhritarashtra's words.
Yeah, Dhritarashtra's words carried no authority. His plaintive cries were not taken seriously by anyone in the assembly. He had clearly abdicated his power to Duryodhana and would ultimately go along with whatever the prince decided. When Dhritarashtra had spoken, Duryodhana stood gazing defiantly around the assembly. He made his decision clear. "I do not depend upon any of the warriors assembled on our side. Karna and I alone can perform the sacrifice of war with Yudhishthira as the sacrificial beast. My chariot will be the sacrificial platform, and my weapons the paraphernalia. My shafts will substitute for kusha grass, while my wide fame will be the clarified butter. We shall perform the sacrifice in honor of the god of death, and will come back crowned with a halo of glory. Let the war begin. Either I will rule the wide earth after killing the Pandavas, or they will enjoy the kingdom after killing me. Duryodhana paused in order to add weight to his words. His voice, full of pride and arrogance, reverberated around the assembly hall. I can sacrifice my life, my wealth, my kingdom, my everything, O king, but I can never live in peace with the Pandavas. I will not surrender to them even as much land as can be pierced by the point of a needle. The hall remained silent after Duryodhana had taken his place on his throne. Bhishma and Vidura glanced at each other. Duryodhana's words did not surprise them. What could they say in reply? Only Dhritarashtra could check his son, and he was not doing that, despite his pitiful entreaties. He still had given no strong order to return the Pandavas' kingdom, nor was he telling anyone else to restrain Duryodhana. It was clear that destiny had ordained war. Dhritarashtra broke the silence. I grieve for all of you, O rulers, who are following this fool to death's abode. I cast off Duryodhana forever. Soon the Pandavas will move among our forces like tigers through a herd of deer. My army will fall like a helpless woman struck down by a wicked man. Beholding the Pandavas approaching like moving mountains, you will remember my words. O my sons, if you do not conclude peace now, you will meet with everlasting peace when you are struck by Bhima's mace. Is that enough?
One bit more.
Okay. Duryodhana looked at Karna and Dushashana. His old father may be terrified by the thought of battle, but he could hardly wait. Alone or assisted by his Danava-inspired troops, he was ready. No other course was possible. Dhritarashtra asked Sanjaya to repeat to him what Krishna had said. Sanjaya related Krishna's words, calling for the return of the Pandavas' kingdom. After this, he described another meeting he had had with both Krishna and Arjuna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Jai Shri Krishna, Prabhu.
I was invited to see them in Arjuna's quarters. With my mind fixed on sacred things, I entered the innermost apartment in the palace, my head lowered and my hands clasped in prayer. The two great souls, however, put me at my ease. They were seated together on a golden bed bedecked with precious stones. Krishna's feet rested on Arjuna's lap, and Arjuna on Krishna's lap. Draupadi and Satyabhama sat nearby like two shining moons. Arjuna pointed to a seat. I touched it with my hand and sat next to it on the floor. Krishna and Arjuna rose from their place like a couple of massive sound trees. Seeing the two black complex heroes towering above me, I was seized with fear. They were like Indra and Vishnu together. I realized that whoever has them on his side cannot possibly meet defeat. Sanjaya closed his eyes as he recalled the sight. He was silent for some moments, then continued in a subdued voice. After they had reassured me and offered me food and drink, I placed my clasped hands on my head and told them of your desire for peace. O King, Arjuna then asked Krishna to make a suitable reply, whereupon the Yadav leader spoke. His words were charming and mild, but their import was terrible. They were calculated to inspire fear in your sons' hearts. He said, O Sanjaya, say this before the Dhritarashtra and all the Kuru elders, after offering them our respects and asking after their welfare. Tell them that they should now perform auspicious sacrifices and make numerous gifts to the Brahmins. Then they should make merry with their wives and sons, for they will soon face a calamity. I am thinking now of my debt to Draupadi, which is still not paid. That chaste lady purchased me for all time when she cried out, O Govinda, amid the Kurus, who were afflicting her with pain. Tears streamed down Sanjaya's face as he thought of how Krishna gave himself completely to whomever sought his shelter. Krishna then spoke the following words. The Kurus have made the wilder of the Gandhiva, with me as a second, their enemy, who would dare challenge us in battle. Even if the gods assist them, unless their time had come, he who defeats Arjuna would hold up the earth in his two arms. He could burn up all creatures and destroy the heavens. Among all the beings within the three worlds, I do not see any to equal Arjuna in battle. Surely the fight at the Matsya kingdom was sufficient evidence of that. What to speak of his encounter with the Danavas in the netherworld? Strength, agility, prowess, lightness of hand, untiring energy and patience reside always in Arjuna and no one else. Consider all this carefully before beginning hostilities, O Kurus. Sanjaya then told the Kurus that Krishna planned to come to Hastinapur himself to encourage peace. The Dhritarashtra sat with his head bowed. He had spent many a long night pondering Arjuna's power, trying to weigh whether it could be countered by any of the Kuru warriors. It was hard to decide. Now that Arjuna was united in battle with Krishna, the odds had shifted dramatically. Krishna's power was impossible to estimate. He was said by the rishis to be the lord of the divinities. Opposing him would surely mean opposing the gods themselves.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's interesting that Dhritarashtra is in such anxiety and stress. But, if he had known the truth about Karna, who can tell us some of the truth about Karna? Yes, Mirnalini.
He is Kunti's son, eldest Pandav.
First of all, he should be the king. He actually should be the rightful king because he's Kunti's oldest son. Yes? Another truth of Karna?
He's
the
a
god of
disciple of Parshuram.
Yes, he was the disciple of Parshuram. Another truth of
the
Karna?
son of the Lord,
He's the son of Suryadev, one of the most powerful demigods. So if Dhritarashtra had known how powerful Karna was, in reality, a lot of his fears would have been allayed there. What do you think, Archana? Who's that speaking?
Prabhu,
Where's that sound coming from? Who's speaking in the background there? If you're not speaking, just mute, or when you want to speak, unmute then, okay?
Prabhu, I have a point actually.
Yes, Prabhu.
About Karna.
Yeah.
Like as the name suggests, Karna, I'm not too sure whether it's the truth or not. Like the Mahabharata tells, like he's born from Kunti's ears and not the womb. That's what I heard actually. I am not sure actually. So this can be another fact and finding.
Yes. His name is
about Karna as well. But I'm not sure.
Yes, he was born from Suryadev, being a demigod, demigods of what we call Achintya Shakti. Who can tell me what Achintya Shakti is?
Tricky.
Tricky Shakti. Yes, they have inconceivable potencies. Krishna is full of Achintya Shakti, but even the demigods, they also have a certain amount of Achintya Shakti, and one of them is that Suryadev could enable Kunti to give birth from her ear of a son. And that son would grow, and he was born with Kavacha and with Kundali. This is Karna. And of course, she had to hide the son because she was a virgin girl. Nobody would understand. I mean, if someone said in the newspaper today, you know, oh, I became pregnant because the sun god visited me last night. Very funny. So even in those days, it would have been difficult for her to make a case. So,
but Prabhu, how's this possible actually? Because you know these violates the basic principles of birth actually. So you know anyone should be born from the womb. Of course,
no. Vishwamitra Muni, he also possessed a certain amount of Achintya Shakti. Achintya means inconceivable. It means that we can't work it out with our brain. Yeah? We try to figure things out with our mechanistic brain. So Vishwamitra Muni created a baby tree that grew babies.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't knew that actually.
We're dealing with dimensions beyond our what we can conceive.
Yeah.
In this body, with the limitations of our intelligence, we're very limited here. We're really, really limited.
So,
you know what this is called?
Very limited, focused only, you know, focused vision.
Tunnel vision. We are very limited here with our understanding of the
Not
broad. I was thinking of time today. I was going through a whole thing with time. How limited we are with our understanding of. Oh, here we go. Mother Mohan is here.
Yeah. And another point, Prabhu, like Karna, Lord Krishna is also not born out of mother's womb, and the same is applicable for Lord Jesus as well. Even Jesus is also not born out of mother's womb.
He is. Everyone is born in different ways in the divine. In the Devaloka, there's no birth through the womb. In the Swag. Just a moment.
That's Krishna and Arjuna in the tent.
Oh, they're in the tent. Ah, yes. Yes.
That scene that we just read is something like that.
That's very nice. Yeah, Arjuna and Krishna, Sanjaya had this darshan of Arjuna and Krishna, very tall and very dark-skinned. Arjuna wasn't a light-skinned Gora. He wasn't a Gora person. He was dark like Krishna. And the name Arjuna means one with swarthy skin. And so people in India think, oh, if you're dark, you don't look so nice. And this is all nonsense. Nonsense. You can be a very beautiful with dark skin, with light skin, because actually the real beauty is coming from the heart anyway. So it doesn't really require color of skin, etc. The Krishna is the most beautiful. He's dark skinned. You see, Arjuna and Krishna together, they were the dark brothers. Okay, so Dhritarashtra sat with his head bowed. He had spent many long nights pondering Arjuna's power and trying to weigh whether it could be countered by any of the Kuru warriors. It was hard to decide. Now that Arjuna was united in battle with Krishna, the odds had shifted dramatically. Krishna's power was impossible to estimate. Impossible. He was said by the rishis to be the lord of all divinities. Opposing him would surely mean opposing the gods themselves. The blind king spoke out with apprehension. These descriptions of Arjuna and Krishna only convince me all the more of the folly of war. Oh, Duryodhana, think again. Think with whom you will be fighting. Great men always repay their debts. Agni is indebted to Arjuna for his assistance at Khandava. Who remembers what happened with Arjuna and Agni at Khandava? Yes, Mirnalini.
Agni will want to eat up the Kandava forest, but Indra will, every time he tries to eat up the forest, Indra will pour down rain and he will stop the fire from coming. So then Agni will just go as a Brahmin and beg to Krishna and Arjuna to help him eat the forest, and they will fight. And there'll be Indra's, he'll have his friend, the Yaksha friend who's hiding in the forest. So at that point of time, the friend would have gone away somewhere. And so both of them will fight and they will trap all the creatures in the forest, and Agni will swallow everyone.
And why did Agni want to consume the forest?
Because he had some kind of ailment and some kind of herbs there which was needed for him.
He was having some tummy problems. So when we have tummy problem, we take Alka-Seltzer or some Enos or some stomach, churran.
Paracetamol.
Paracetamol. Not for stomach problems, though. We take Andrews and these things, liver salts. Agni, he eats the whole forest with herbs. This is what we call Subhajoti, Achintya Shakti. The demigods, they have inconceivable potencies. And also a demigod. If a demigod, you saw the size of the demigod. We are like little ants compared to a demigod. Although a demigod can appear before us in our size, but they are much, much bigger in body. Even in Dwapara Yuga, their bodies were bigger. In Kali Yuga, the bodies get smaller. So there's so much variation in this universe. So these descriptions of Arjuna and Krishna will convince me all the more of the folly of the war. He will surely help Arjuna in the war. So will the god Dharma align himself with his son. Yudhishthira, Bhima is Vayu's son, and the twins are born of the two Ashwini gods. Thus it appears that we will be facing a force both human and divine. I cannot see how we can win. Son, make peace with the Pandavas. If you do not, then the Kuru's end has come. Go ahead, Gayatri.
Duryodhana was losing his patience. All this agonizing was too much. The prince jumped up in a rage. "O best of kings, why do you keep praising the Pandavas? They are mortals like the rest of us. How will the gods come to their assistance? The gods are never impelled by base emotions. It is only by indifference to worldly desires, the absence of avarice, anger, and hatred that they have attained their heavenly positions in the first place. They do not get involved in petty human struggles based on emotional attachments. Were this not the case, then how could Pandavas have undergone so much suffering? And even if the gods do take their side, so what? I am the equal to any of them. By my own mystic power, I can stop fire from burning even if it wishes to consume the three worlds. With incantations, I can solidify water, enabling chariots and infantry to march over it. I can break apart mountains and send down shower of rocks accompanied by a gale like that which blows at the time of destructions.
That's
As
thanks. Yeah, Duryodhana, he's so intoxicated. He's absolutely intoxicated with himself. he's totally, well, his mind is gone. His intelligence is gone. And he's comparing himself to the gods. He's saying the Pandavas they're not gods, but they're the sons of the demigods. And they're nowhere can be compared to the Kauravas. Go ahead, Neelam.
Is it here? As it praised himself, Duryodhana
Yes,
became
as he praised himself. Yes, he's
as
praising
he
himself.
praised himself, Duryodhana became increasingly enlivened. He frailed his arms and glared at the kings in the assembly. You all know that in my kingdom there are no natural calamities caused by God. Due to my protection, there are not even frightful beasts or snakes to assail my subjects. All the citizens practice virtue and live peacefully under my rule. Neither the god nor the asuras would dare protect anyone hated by me. Why did the god not prevent me from exiling the Pandavas or from taking their wealth? Whomever I desire to be happy or miserable meets with that end without fail. I am never thwarted in my aim. O monarch, my words will now not prove false. I am known in this world as one who speaks the truth. The world witnesses my fame and glory. I say this only to console you and not out of self praise. You will soon hear the Pandavas' defeat. Rest assured. I am superior to them in intelligence, might, prowess, knowledge, and ability. I shall destroy them.
Thank you.
Duryodhana.
Thanks very much. There we go. He's at it again. So people in this world are very much like this, glorifying themselves, and they like to hear themselves be glorified. Who likes to hear nice things said about? Oh, Archana is such a good cook. Oh, Gayatri made lovely chapati, roti, and sabji the other day. What a good cook she is. What a wonderful mother she is. Look, everyone oh, but if we hear something bad, Archana, she doesn't keep a clean house, She, she said, oh. So we like to hear ourselves glorified because Krishna, the purpose of us, our purpose in life is what? To glorify
Krishna.
Krishna, to glorify the Lord. This is actually our purpose in existence, is to glorify, praise. What other words are there? To glorify, to praise, to emulate, not emulate, nice words.
To worship.
Worship, to behold, to admire the Lord in his different forms. It could be Lord Narayan, it could be as the form of Mahavishnu, as they do down in the Kerala. We have the Garbhodakshari Vishnu, and Brahma is worshipped there in Padmanabha Swami Temple. Adikeshava in Tamil Nadu. Has anybody visited that temple, Adikeshav? Yes, Mirnalini. Yes, I was there in 1987. It's a small village, isn't it? It's not a city, it's a small little village. You can walk past the temple and not know it. And inside this beautiful, very long, maybe 12 to 15 foot long Vishnu lying down, Adikeshava, the Mahavishnu, form of Mahavishnu. So our purpose in life is to simply glorify the Lord, chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Actually, the perfection of glorifying Krishna is to chant the Maha Mantra, namely,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
or turn your sound on. Let's have a listen to you all doing it.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Yeah, this
Hare
is
Krishna, Hare
actually
Krishna.
the real purpose of our existence is to glorify and to admire. What other words are there? To praise, to come on, help me out here. What other words, Neelam?
Appreciate.
Appreciate, yes.
Exalt.
Sorry?
Exalt.
Exalt, to exalt the Lord, yes. To enjoy hearing about the Lord, to spend one's time hearing and chanting for eternity. Actually, this is the eternal function of the living entity, is to hear and chant constantly about the Lord. So the whole spiritual world, like we have in this world, a sound in this world. Go to India. When we go to India, you know, but in the spiritual world, there's one sound. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Constant chanting of Krishna's names. Okay, so that's very interesting. You can see we're building up to the war now. This is panic amongst the Kauravas. It's quite a long chapter. And then after that, the Pandavas will consult Krishna. So we're on page 457 now, Jai Shri Krishna Prabhu. And it is Duryodhana was now in the center of the hall. Is that the one?
That's the one, yeah.
Right, so we're at the bottom of page 457, and we'll continue from there next week then. Any points anyone wants to make? Neelam?
No provision. Thank you.
Is the snow still falling in Moscow?
Yes. Today raining.
Oh,
Today,
raining
yes.
today, so the snow is gone.
Bad snow, yeah.
How about Bristol? What's the weather down there in sunny Bristol like?
It's not very sunny, Prabhuji. It's quite cold. No, it was snowing little last night.
Yes.
It's quite cold.
Yeah, we had snow yesterday here, and then rain came and cleared it away. And today it's been blue skies here. How about in the tropics of Crawley?
It's been freezing, bit of light rain. So, yeah.
Yeah. And how about the paradise of East Sussex?
It didn't rain, it didn't get snowy,
Yeah.
but it got
Oh,
quite sunny in the evening.
yes,
Afternoon.
yes. What about swinging Swindon? How's it been there, Prabhu?
Swindon, yeah, morning mix and match. It's cold, but there was little bit of sunshine. Then there was rain as well. But
Oh,
it's
you've got
cold.
a mixed day there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yesterday I was traveling from Midlands, Birmingham Airport,
Yeah.
and it took the village roads instead of the main M5. The roads are horrible. Every minute there was a big puddle of water. The car was going in a big puddle, and there was snowstorm.
And I've
Snow.
also noticed holes in the road as well.
Lot of holes,
Lot
and
of
I
holes
don't know my
because-
car is damaged or not. And
Yes, you've got to be careful with the holes in the road because the cold weather, it makes cracks, and it big trucks, they create holes.
It's so dangerous,
Very
dangerous to
dangerous,
drive actually yesterday.
So best to stay at home if possible.
Yeah, no,
You're
I
gonna
had to
stay-
go to the airport early morning to drop my son, and then
Okay.
No,
I have
I
to stay home this week. I have to do my accounts this week. I have to do my Jai Shri Krishna is smiling. Look, he doesn't have to do it anymore. This is usually the most stressful month of the year for him.
Of all my previous clients, only 5 have left to finish theirs, so which is quite good.
Oh, that's very good. Very good. I've got to do my accounts this week. I have to start now tomorrow. It's something I don't look forward to doing, but it's got to be done.
It's got to be done.
Yeah, we have to do our accounts. We have to pay our taxes, and we have to keep ourselves all prim and proper. Okay, Hare Krishna. Take care. Oh, Minalini.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, I
Hare
have a
Krishna.
question, Prabhuji. Like,
That's a question. That's a
Karna,
question.
yeah,
Okay.
but Karna is the son of, like the sun god. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's son of sun god, and she's the son of such a virtuous lady, Kunti Maharani. But in spite of that, why did he turn so bad? But he actually, he was the one who gave the idea of insulting Draupadi there, and no one, why did he turn so bad?
By association with Duryodhana. There's a saying in Hindi, Jaise sang, vaise rang. Jaise sang, vaise rang. So by association, if Karna had been with Yudhishthira, the Pandavas, he would have been virtuous. But by association with Duryodhana and being so indebted to him, making him a king so that he would be eligible to fight in the war, he was totally, absolutely, 100% sold out, a sold dog to Duryodhana, and by his association, he became more and more corrupted. So this is bad association. Therefore, the bhajan goes, who knows the bhajan? Bhaja hure mana, Srinandanandana, Abhay Charanarvindare, Dula Bamanava Janama Satsange, Trohoe Bhava Sindure. And that Sito Atapa Bhata Barishana Edina Jamani Jagire. So this bhajan says that if you have Asat Sangha, if you have the bad association, then your life is spoiled by bad association. So thank you very much, everyone. Hare Krishna. Luckily, we have very good association here of Archana and the Bakri gang down in Hackney. We're coming soon. We're coming soon for more Bakris. And when I come to Swindon, I'll be bringing.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very
much. Copy I'm saving for you this copy.
Thank you, Prabhu. So when is your next visit to Swindon?
I'm coming down this month later.
Okay, brilliant.
On the way to one school, and we're going to school in Newbury, and we're staying with Rupa Vilas Prabhu for one night. So that night I'll tell you when we're coming, and we can meet up.
Sure. And in Newbury is my workplace, Prabhu. I work in Newbury. For 14 years, more than 14 years I'm working over there.
Oh gosh, that's nice. Well, we're at school in Newbury. I forget which date it is. It's something like the 20th or the 21st Jan. It's not very far away. And when I come down, we'll bring a nice copy of the Mahabharat for you.
Perfect, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, everyone. Haribo Neela. Jana Ravinda Prabhu. Hari Hari.
Haribo. Hare Krishna.